Let me ask you a question. Are you truly seizing every opportunity that comes your way? Or are you letting potential fortunes slip through your fingers? If you're not ready to start taking calculated risks and putting in the work required for real success, then you might as well stop watching now. Because what I'm about to share with you is not for the faint of heart. I'm talking about developing a rich brain, a mindset of psychological wealth that will propel you toward achieving your biggest goals and dreams. This journey will require you to shed your limiting beliefs, embrace challenges head-on, and commit to a lifelong pursuit of growth, adaptation, and continual learning. Make no mistake, some of you watching simply won't be ready for these lessons. You'll hear what I'm saying but fail to truly understand and apply it. But for those willing to put in the work, to stay motivated and persistent, the rewards will be immense. And you know what? I'm going to save the most critical advice for last. So you'll need to pay very close attention until the end if you want to uncover the secrets of the rich brain. Let's begin. Tip 10. We're going to start by addressing a fundamental truth. Lasting success requires consistent effort and perseverance over the long term. It doesn't happen overnight. The famous saying, "The bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists," gets to the heart of this. Just like the bamboo that spends years developing an invisible root system underground before finally shooting up tall stalks, there must be years of unseen and often unrewarded work before you experience your breakthrough success. Most people simply aren't willing to put in the continual effort and make the sacrifices necessary for that final growth spurt of achievement. They want the rewards, but aren't ready to embrace the process. The problem is, without laying that strong foundation over time through diligent daily practice and development of the right habits, your chances of achieving real psychological wealth are extremely slim. Are you ready to play the long game? Tip 9. Let's talk about the power of mindset and perspective. The reality is, your outer circumstances and situations in life are ultimately shaped by your inner world, your mindset, beliefs, and the meaning you assign to events. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." How you choose to perceive and respond to adversity, setbacks, and challenges is what determines your trajectory. Take the great inventor Thomas Edison, who famously said after thousands of failed attempts at creating the light bulb, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His ability to reframe failure as an opportunity to learn was key to his success. Or think about the biblical story of Joseph, who was betrayed by his brothers and sold into slavery, yet maintained an incredibly positive mindset that allowed him to not only survive, but rise to become a powerful leader. Developing a growth mindset oriented towards continually learning, adapting, and viewing obstacles as opportunities for progress is absolutely crucial for building psychological wealth. Without it, you'll stay stuck. The choice is yours. Tip 8. One of the core tenets of developing a rich brain is embracing the power of critical thinking. Listen closely here, because this is important. Too many people simply accept information and assumptions at face value without scrutinizing or questioning them. They let biases and others' agendas influence their thinking instead of viewing issues through a critical, analytical lens. The ancient Greek philosopher Socrates was a master of critical thinking. His trademark dialectical method of questioning forced his students to dig deeper, logically examine their beliefs, and arrive at truth through reason rather than assumption. In our modern world of information overload, being able to critically analyze data, separate fact from fiction, identify agendas, and think for yourself is absolutely vital. It allows you to make well-reasoned decisions unswayed by emotional biases. The philosopher Walter Lippmann put it well: "Where all think alike, no one thinks very much." Are you willing to embrace the power of individual critical thinking as a key to psychological wealth? Tip 7. let's discuss the importance of developing emotional intelligence as part of your rich brain toolkit. You can have all the critical thinking abilities in the world, but without being able to understand and manage your own emotions and deal with the emotions of others, your psychological wealth will be limited. As the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle stated, anyone can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not easy. Emotional intelligence encompasses skills like self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. It allows you to navigate interpersonal dynamics, build strong relationships, and make decisions guided by both reason and emotional acumen rather than simply impulsive feelings. Psychologist Daniel Goleman, who popularized the concept, found that emotional intelligence accounts for nearly 90% of what sets high performers apart. It's a force multiplier that will serve you well on the path to a rich brain. Tip 6. One characteristic that separates the psychologically wealthy from the rest is a strong sense of purpose, a driving force that provides clarity and fuels your motivation. As Nietzsche wrote, "He who has a why to live for can bear with almost any how." When you lack a definitive purpose and the passion that comes with it, even your best efforts will falter over time. You'll struggle to sustain the energy, commitment, and resilience required to overcome obstacles. On the other hand, when you operate with purpose and the concentrated power that comes from aligning all your skills and drive towards a singular mission, you become unstoppable. Purpose taps into your deepest sources of motivation and potential. But finding your life's purpose isn't simple. It requires deep self-reflection and a willingness to explore what truly matters to you at the core, your values, experiences, and inner callings. Yet doing the work to uncover and commit to your purpose is indispensable for developing true psychological wealth. Tip 5. Let's talk about the habits and daily practices required to develop a rich brain. Long-term success doesn't happen by chance. It results from consistently taking the right actions every single day. As Aristotle put it, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. The small decisions you make, the routines you follow or fail to follow, and the ways you choose to spend your time ultimately compound into the circumstances of your life. Building psychological wealth demands disciplining yourself to prioritize constructive habits like setting goals, continual learning, networking, exercising regularly, practicing mindfulness, and strategically managing your time and energy. It's about aligning your daily behaviors with your definition of success. Since habits are so powerful in shaping your life's trajectory, being highly intentional about adopting and sticking to empowering routines should be one of your highest priorities. Just coasting through life in a reactive, unconscious state will only breed mediocrity. Tip 4. The psychologically wealthy understand that achieving any level of greatness requires taking calculated risks and stepping outside your comfort zone. Let me be blunt. A scarcity mindset oriented around avoiding danger, criticism, and failure at all costs is cancerous to building a rich brain. As Mark Twain quipped, a person with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds. Every great accomplishment or paradigm-shifting innovation throughout history happened because someone was willing to be ridiculed, challenge the status quo, and risk failure by venturing into uncharted territory. Of course, this doesn't mean being reckless and throwing all caution to the wind. It's about carefully evaluating potential risks and rewards, trusting your judgment and intuition, then committing fully to the endeavor with an appreciation that you may face detours and obstacles. But here's the reality. The biggest risk is taking no risk at all. Those who avoid ever putting themselves out there and resist discomfort are doomed to a life of regret and mediocrity. Don't let that be you. Tip 3. Developing a rich brain requires the ability to adapt and continually reinvent yourself in the face of change. Listen closely, because this lesson is critical. We're living in an era of accelerating technological and cultural shifts that are disrupting industries, career paths, business models, and entire ways of life at a blinding pace. Those who cling to outdated ideas, skills, and perspectives are getting left behind. As Greek philosopher Heraclitus said, the only constant in life is change. Your commitment to consistently expanding your knowledge, developing new capabilities, and approaching life with curiosity and open-mindedness will determine whether you can ride these waves of change or get swept away by them. Adaptability is a cornerstone mindset of the psychologically wealthy, allowing them to pivot strategies, embrace new roles, learn emerging skill sets, and challenge their assumptions so they can stay ahead of the curve. Just look at companies like Blockbuster that failed to adapt to digital streaming disruptors. Their lack of adaptability led to their demise, while more psychologically wealthy leaders like Reed Hastings at Netflix continue thriving. Which path will you choose? Tip 2. Let's discuss what may be the single most vital ingredient for achieving true psychological wealth: an unwavering sense of passion and purpose. Without these driving forces, even the most diligent efforts are bound to falter over time. When you operate from a deep inner passion, channeling your energy into something you care about immensely on an emotional and spiritual level, it unlocks reservoirs of enthusiasm, persistence, and creative energy that simply aren't accessible otherwise. As Camus said, life is a sum of all your choices. When your daily actions and life's work are an expression of your core purpose and values, everything becomes infused with more vibrancy, meaning, and power. On the other hand, when you sleepwalk through life pursuing hollow external rewards out of obligation, motivation slowly gets drained from your soul until you're running on empty. Don't let that happen. Do the work to uncover what ignites an intense fire within you. Connect to your why and align your life's activities with that driving purpose. When you do, you'll have tapped into one of the core fuels of psychological wealth. Tip 1. The final tip I'll leave you with is perhaps the most important of all for developing a truly rich brain. It's about embracing the mindset of continual, lifelong growth. This is non-negotiable. Too many people, even after achieving some level of success, delude themselves into thinking they have it all figured out and can just rest on their laurels. But the truth is, your personal and professional development can never reach an endpoint without your potential becoming stagnant. As Michelangelo put it, the greater danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark. The psychologically wealthy have an insatiable hunger to constantly learn, evolve, and push the boundaries of their perceived capabilities. So be relentless in your self-education. Read voraciously, take online courses, find mentors, seek out new experiences, build new skills, and adopt the humble mindset that no matter how much you've achieved, you still have more to learn and grow. Because the moment you think you have it all figured out is the moment you've doomed yourself to becoming irrelevant. Stay hungry and keep pushing forward every single day towards greater psychological wealth. Listen, developing a rich brain is not for the faint of heart. It demands a ruthless commitment to continual growth, calculated risk-taking, unflinching perseverance, and the courage to constantly reinvent yourself while aligning your life's activities with your deepest values and purpose. This path is fraught with adversity, setbacks, and the temptation to settle for a life of complacency instead of striving for greatness. Many who started this journey with you will falter and fall by the wayside. Only those with a reserve of psychological wealth will survive. But I'll leave you with this. There is no greater privilege and source of power than taking radical responsibility for cultivating a truly rich brain. Governments, corporations, and even loved ones will inevitably let you down at times. But your own psychologically wealthy mindset, properly developed, will be the one thing in this world no one can ever take from you. So what's it going to be? Will you shrink back from the challenge because it's too demanding? Or will you rise to the occasion and claim the psychological riches and meaningful, impactful life you deserve? Remember, the choice and the power to develop a rich brain lies within you. So make this commitment to yourself starting today. Study these lessons, apply them diligently, and keep checking back to this channel for more wisdom to guide you on your journey towards lasting success, fueled by psychological wealth. And as always, share your thoughts, stories, and any questions you have with the community in the comments section. Let's push each other forward and enjoy the profound rewards of developing truly rich brains together.